Hello, fellow jammies. Henning Pauli here. You're a drummer, that's why you're watching this. So, you think it might be difficult to record yourself for the Jammmz website? Think again. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do this, all in one video. There's one challenge. For guitar, we have a backing track and an example track. So you learn the part, you download the backing track, it's got a click in it at the beginning, and then it's got drums that you play to. Well, of course, as a drummer, you don't want the drums in, your track. So there are 3 tracks. What you're going to have to do, you have one more step compared to the guitar players. And that is, you listen to the example and you learn the part. You download the backing track with click. And that is the one that you're going to put on your ears. So you're going to have your laptop, your cell phone, your iPod, and that is the one that you're going to play to, preferably with headphones, so that we don't hear this in the recording. The recording should be only the drums, because frankly, if we have the backing track through speakers or something, A, it's going to have the click in it, and B, it will not be loud enough for a good mix. So you have to have the backing track with click on your ears. You play to that, and you record it in a variety of ways. You can use a little camera, you can use an iPad with a microphone, or an iPad, an Android tablet, an Android cell phone, an iPhone. You could use, of course, another computer with a microphone, or you might even be set up for this an audio interface with several inputs. Actually, what we did for the drum recording you're hearing on all these packages, it is 5 microphones. Bass, snare, 2 overheads, and a room. So you could really do this with 2 mics. If you had 4, that would be great. So any of these methods will work. When you have the final drum recording, you would actually have to assemble it with the file called backing track, because that doesn't have the click in it. It starts with the click, but then it is just the music, so that you can put your drums as a second layer on top of that, and you're going to have to do that in some kind of software. You can do it on a mobile device. There are multi-track softwares that can do that. You could do that in Audacity. It's free software. You can do it in GarageBand. You can do that in Cubase on the iPad. I'm going to show you, after you see how I'm tracking it, in Audacity, and show you on one example, which is the file recorded with the iPhone. Very simple recorder. How to put it together in Audacity. Okay, so now on to the actual recording process. Enjoy. Hello people at Jammmz. You know me, Henning Pauli. Psst, drummers. From Guitar Stuff. This is Klaus. Say hi, Klaus. Hello. We just spent the whole freaking weekend to record amazing drum packages for you. Yeah, we really haven't slept, so we've done a lot of stuff. Now we're trying to give you a very quick overview of how you can record yourself, because you know what? You can be the most amazing drummer unless you can record yourself and upload yourself up to Jammmz. We can judge you and bitch about your playing. So, what you're gonna have to do is, and I'll show you this in other videos, download the backing track. There are 2 different backing tracks. One is a backing track with a click. Well, when we're judging your playing, we don't want to hear click, 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 click. That's annoying. What you're gonna have to do is you record it with the click, backing track plus click, but only record the drum. So you're gonna have that click on your headphones, probably with your computer, your laptop, or maybe your cell phone, mobile phone. Have that backing track on your ears and play. Record that onto another device, and I'm going to give you a couple of options. Then you're going to take that track and you're going to have to assemble it with the other backing track, the one without the click, so that we can enjoy just your playing without an annoying click. I hope you got this. So here are the different options. One of the options, you might have it, your mom might have it, your dad or grandfather might have it, which is actually what Dominic is holding right now and what's filming me. It's a little inexpensive pocket camera, and if you follow me, something like this. Okay, this is a little Canon, Fuji, Samsung, whatever. They're usually pretty good. Hello. They're usually pretty good at leveling the audio and not distorting whether it works with drums, you know what, we're gonna see. Because what you can do is, when you're done, you open it, take out the SD card, and there's software that will strip the audio from the video, and then you have just an MP3 file, which is what you want. Another option that we're gonna do is an Android device. So this is a Google Nexus 7 tablet. You could have a smartphone, you could have a Galaxy, I don't know what they are. Apple, you know. But in here we actually already have a DAW, digital audio workstation. So you record yourself, and then you can put the backing track in there and assemble it right here on the device, which is pretty cool. I'm going to show you this. One of the problems I haven't figured out with this is that I cannot... drummers. That I cannot set the input level so that it doesn't distort. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit record on this, and over here shove it under a couple of pillows. Okay, right here we're going to do this. And that's going to muffle the sound enough, I tested it earlier, so that we're going to actually get to hear the drums and not just which is not what we want. Another option, iPhone. Okay, I showed you this for guitar recording. Well, not you, because you're a drummer, so you don't know what I'm talking about. And I got a free app here that records MP3s. I might just shove that in that general direction, not really under the pillow. Maybe that has decent auto leveling, but we're going to do this. Now, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you have the option to actually get an iRig, and actually an iRig Pro or an iRig Pre, which will allow you to use an XLR cable and record actually in pretty decent quality onto your iPad. I'm using Cubasis, but there's Amplitude, there's the Amplitude recorder, there's a couple of different ways that you can do. But here you can actually set the level, and if Dominic turns around, you can use a decent microphone. Okay, this is an Omni. You can use, you know, a cheapo 40, 50 euro mic, dollar, yen, shekel, denira, lira, whatever you know, you can buy an inexpensive microphone. So we're gonna try all these different ways, and in a couple of days, when I recuperated from this big session, I'm gonna cut this video together, and then we're gonna look at how to assemble it with the backing track and the result, if this is actually something that we can use. And then you can decide for yourself what you do. Obviously, if you're a drummer who has an audio interface and a computer and Logic, GarageBand, Facebook? No. Why was I going to say Facebook? Logic, GarageBand, Cubase, Cubase Elements, Ableton Live, PreSonus something, and you have multi-microphone capabilities, well, please use that. Don't say, well, they want me to record with an iPhone, but I've got this studio right here. Okay, don't be a dumbass. So, Klaus is going to play from his most amazing Popular Grooves package, Basic Groove number 1, and we're going to track this. So, he has a laptop right there, and he's got the backing track on his ears. And I'm going to start recording. I don't know, Dominic, can you see this? I'm going to hit record right here. And it's recording. Input gain. You can actually set the input gain here. We're going to set this as low as possible. Hey, Klaus, can you play something?
What?
Just one groove. Hey, that looks pretty good. So we're going to put this right over here. We're going to hit record on this. Yeah. Okay. Never shows that it's recording. Here we go. And see, it's going. And as I said, I can't set the input gain on this, or at least I don't know how. We're just going to shove this under a pillow. Maybe that's a good idea. And here, of course, we got really decent equipment, an iPad, an iRig Pro, and a decent mic. Gonna hit record. The camera is recording anyway because we're using the sound from this camera. And so, Dominic, if you would, maybe go in the corner. And
Let's go.
yeah, let's go. gotta remember, Klaus beats the living crap out of a drum set, so he plays incredibly loud. You know, most of you are probably much wussier than him and don't play quite that loud. And obviously this is a huge room which makes it really big. So wherever you are, you just have to find the right spot for your device, for your microphone, whatever, and just find a way to do this. There is no reason why you shouldn't be able to record yourself, okay? Well, if you don't have a drum set, that would be hard. But still, you could try, okay? So, we're gonna go and check these recordings now. Bye-bye. So, here we are now on my computer, and I've got the iPad recording right here. And that's from the little video camera, that's from the iPhone, and that's from the Android device. Of course, there's a million more ways to do this, but we're gonna look at these. So I'm gonna open Audacity. It's, you know, freeware. You can get it actually for completely free, but there's other simple multi-track editors that will do a similar job. And I'm going to import, and that's the important part, under File, Import, Audio. I'm going to import, where are we? Here, Drums, Popular Grooves, Tracks. And right here, we're going to take up 8th Note Startup, not the backing track with click, because that's the one you used for recording. We're going to just use backing track. And as you can see, there's a click right here, but then there is no click whatsoever. We're going to see if that works. That's what we want. Now the tricky part is to actually line up the recording you made with your whatever device to this file. And we're going to start with, going to import another audio track. Going to go to the desktop and I'm going to look for my weird numbers. Here. That is the iPhone recording. So there's, you know, lots of stuff that where we tested things. So what you can do is just select this and hit delete. There we go. Okay. Of course, that is not together. And make sure, you know, get the levels down a bit. So now we're going to look at how does this work. With Shift, you can actually make it smaller again. So that's kind of like where Klaus counted in. Now the question is, where does this downbeat actually have to be? And it might, you know, you might need to move things around a bit, but you're gonna get the hang of this relatively quickly. Right here, this is kind of, I'm gonna mute this, where it should be. Right here. So that's where the downbeat needs to be. Gonna unmute this and gonna zoom into this bit right here. That's kind of where it has to be. So I'm going to move this right here. Yeah, there it kind of lines up. He also didn't play absolutely perfectly. But, you know, that might be realistic because maybe you're not getting it the first time. So let's see. Actually, I can probably, I'm a dumbass, use these. Because that's if you actually go ahead and click here a little bit more. There, fiddly bits. Okay. Let's see where we are. Hey. That works fine for me. That is good enough for Jammmz. Again, we're not judging recording quality. What we want to know is, did you play it right? And I can hear everything in here. I can hear the bass drum, the hi-hat, the snare. Everything is beautifully there. So what you can do is, oops, not that. You could actually just, you know, cut. No, that doesn't work. I was going to say you could, you know, cut this off. But actually what you do is you select, let's say from around here to back here, and then when I say export selection, it will give me a file that is those two together. But before we do that, let's import one of the other ones and see what happened in the recording. Import, and we're gonna go to the file called drum recording, which is the iPad. Of course, remember what happened here is that was an iPad with an iRig Pro in front of it, so that's a better mic preamp and a fairly decent microphone set to Omni to record the whole room. But the system is exactly the same. Can I pull this down? Yeah, there we go. We're gonna look at the click, and we're gonna line up the click right here. Hey, how do I do this? There we go. Gonna line up the click like this. And what does this sound like? That didn't work because I did it too early. So this has to go here, I guess. Yes. Okay, that should be it. You know, play with your levels so you got a good balance. Beautiful. Absolutely great. So, let me see. We're gonna get rid of this, So that was the iPad. Let's look at what the Android gave us. Drums Android. Yeah, it's distorted. You can see that. I explained this before. The problem with the Android recording was clearly that I can't set the input. So hiding it under the pillow was a good idea, and it did something, but it would have had to be a bigger pillow. So maybe it's just me being a dumbass not figuring out how to correctly set the input level. But let me see if this is now positioned right. Probably not. Does it look? You can hear it's drums, but you definitely don't have the definition like with the other devices. I'm pretty sure if you have some kind of app where you can set the input level, you would be fine with an Android device. And very surprising, the little camera that we recorded this with sounds great. So let's see. As you can see in all these files, they look very, very different. And we're gonna go here. That should be about right. Yes. Let's try this. As you can see, this camera probably has like an auto level feature. It even seems to compress a bit. Not too shabby for, you know, like a €249 Canon. I'm pretty sure you can do that with any other camera. So that's what you have to do. Then you export this, you know, pick your selection. Say export selection. And you can pick an MP3, you can do WAV, you can do OGG. So I'm going to pick MP3. Put this here as Jammmz Pop Grooves Challenge 1. Okay. And it's done. So if I now go here and have Jammmz Popular Grooves Challenge 1. Now, who says you can't record yourself with simple devices, even when you're playing drums. The distance is important. Okay, your input level is important. Of course, if you have multi-track capability, that would be great. But if not, you can still do it. So go to Jammmz.com and start grooving.